Our kitchen came with a built-in dishwasher, but it was old and there were only 2 of us in the house, so we decided to remove the dishwasher and utilize the space for storage. And overall, that's worked well for us. Obviously, Thanksgiving, when we have people over, you know, there's a lot of hand washing that has to go on, but overall, it hasn't been much of an issue. Although I recently saw tabletop dishwashers and I thought, perhaps this might be something of interest. Thanks to the Home Depot Seeds program, we're going to take a look at one. In this box is a desktop dishwasher. It's installation free and is multifunction. Looking at the side of the box, we see that it weighs about 14 pounds, measures 22 inches by 17 by 18. Max power usage is 800 watts. Max water temperature is 72 degrees Celsius, which is about 161 degrees. And my favorite, it's water funk. Let's see what comes in the box. You get a manual. There appears to be a, what I'm going to assume is a drainage hose. It's double wrapped. Here is the physical dishwasher. It has a handle on top, some additional components on the inside. On the back, this looks like there's a water tank, and this is the water tank, because you're not going to connect this to your kitchen plumbing. You just fill this with water, and that water is used to clean your dishes. Let's get this into the kitchen and hook it up and see what it looks like. In the kitchen, this is our desktop oven, while this beast is our desktop dishwasher. While there's no installation needed, there is some assembly. This hose attaches to the back side of the base. We have a spray arm that just drops in right there, and it just, I guess, will spin when water runs through it. And then we have what appears to be a filter that should just go over this opening. And then we have our dish rack, which sits here, and you put in your cups and your plates. And then we have our big cover that is going to be a problem because our cabinets aren't high enough to clear this. So either the unit needs to come forward more, which creates another problem because now it's right in front of the edge here. On the very back side of the unit is a place for the drainage hose. A closer look reveals that this needs to ride over a thicker portion that is at the beginning. And so we're going to try that. You know, there are probably better ways of doing this. They could have just made a snap-on connector. Of course, the fear is that depending on how you do your turn, if you don't have much clearance, this could snap out, then you'd have water pouring all over your counter. The included manual is poorly written and illustrated, and even the stickered on operations for the tank can be a little bit confusing because it's poorly translated. It turns out that to fill this tank, I thought this whole lid would open up, but instead you turn this knob and that's the opening you have to fill the tank with. Luckily, I have a spray head that I can just put over the opening to fill this up. No idea how many gallons of water this takes. There is no fill watermark on this, so it is heavy. when it's full of water. And you gotta be careful because it only fits one way. This is curved. You have to be careful because this gets in the way if you're coming in on this side of the unit. This box, I thought maybe that's where you would put the soap because this comes up. But when you look inside, there's a blower. So I don't think that's where the powdered soap goes. So for now, we're just gonna run it just to see what it does. There are little guides here. There's one over there. And I think it sets in that way. Again, the instructions aren't very helpful. So let's put the cover over it. And this cover has some, I'm gonna have to pull this forward, otherwise it doesn't clear my cabinet. There's a sticker here, and there's some directions there. We're gonna make sure we comply with everything before we turn on the unit. In loading up the dishwasher, because the rack really doesn't stay in place, it just moves around. It tends to move when you're loading stuff in. There's also big openings in here, so if you're not careful, this could go through and hit the arm. So you got to make sure that they're on the points that aren't finished. They're kind of just cut. So I can imagine this might be rusting over time. There's really no place for silverware. It just kind of sits here on this platform. I don't think that there's going to be enough pressure to blow it off, but we're going to find out. I've plugged in the unit to a watt meter, and as you can see, it's fluctuating between 0.3 and 0.2 watts of usage, and that's with the unit entirely off. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't tell you where to put the soap powder in here, because you can't use dishwashing lotion. If you do that, then you just get a box full of foam. It doesn't tell you where. So I don't know if you just pour it on the ground, if you put it up here. It just doesn't say in the manual. Again, really bad instructions. Also, don't forget to run your discharge hose into the sink. Looking at the front panel, we have a power button. Then you would go to select your cleaning mode. There is a powerful antibacterial mode, which is 50 minutes. Then there's a standard mode, which is 35, and a quick wash for 12. Quick wash is meant to like wash fruits and vegetables. You have a lock mode to prevent anybody from tampering with your settings. And that's just a hold and press, and then a hold and press to release the lock. And then you have a pause mode to stop at mid-wash if you need to. And then you have some indicator lights up here. Wash, flush vegetables, drain, quick wash, and standard. So let's turn this on. We get lights, power consumption goes up to 0.7. Let's pick our mode, which is going to be the quick wash. Then I'm going to push, I guess, start. We're using 8 watts. And all I see is just water pooling at the base of the unit. And maybe enough water has to come into the unit before it starts circulating. Again, no idea since the instructions don't tell us. It does make an annoying sound. I don't know if you can see it, but in the back there's just some water coming out, going up into the air, and then just pooling down at the bottom. up. And we sort of have action. It's, oh my goodness, it's leaking. It's leaking over there. So let's stop this right now. And even though it's in position, yeah, this leaks. You know what? I'm done. Anything that is this clumsy, despite the fact that it's over $100, isn't worth it. This is properly set. Yeah, it's properly set, yet we had water leaking from there. Let me just give it one. I'm really frustrated with this because this seems to be on the cheap. And again, water is coming up, pooling over. So we're done. This is a total reject. I would not recommend this to anyone. Don't buy it. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team. But whatever you do, don't buy this unit.